Why do 95% of people live the same life year after year? The same challenges, same relationships, same bank balance. Year after year, like Groundhog Day. You've tried positive thinking, repeated affirmations in the mirror, visualized success, read self-help books, watched motivational videos, yet nothing changed. Pause. Want to know why? Because your consciousness isn't just a brain inside your skull. It extends far beyond your body into an invisible field connecting every atom in the universe. What quantum physicists call the unified field. What ancient mystics called the Akasha. This isn't metaphor or philosophy. This is physics. Today, you'll receive precise instructions on how to connect with this field, how to begin programming reality at the quantum level, and how to stop being a victim of circumstances and become the creator of your life. Ancient wisdom validated by modern science. Most people operate by Newtonian physics, cause and effect. Matter controls matter. To change your life, you must do something in the physical world. Work harder, try more, push the boulder uphill. This model is 100 years outdated. Quantum physics proved that the observer affects the observed. Consciousness shapes matter. Thought precedes form. But there's a problem. You're living as a victim of circumstances. You react to the world around you. Your boss is rude, you get angry. A bill arrives, you worry. Someone says something unpleasant, you feel hurt. You've given control of your life to external conditions, and worst of all, you do this automatically. Your body has memorized the chemistry of stress, anxiety, and fear. It's become addicted to these emotions, and every morning when you open your eyes, you automatically return to the same version of yourself. Same personality, same thoughts, same feelings, and consequently, the same reality. But what if I told you there's another way? A way where you don't depend on the external world. A way where you create the events of your life from within. In this video, we won't discuss blind faith. We won't talk about the law of attraction in the think positive and it'll happen style. That doesn't work, and you know it. We'll examine three things: biology, neurophysiology, and quantum physics. I'll explain what happens in your brain when you think, what happens in your body when you feel, and most importantly, what happens in the quantum field when you combine thought and feeling in a specific way. You'll discover why most manifestation techniques fail, why mirror affirmations waste your time, and what you actually need to do for the quantum field to respond to your request. I'll give you a step-by-step algorithm. 4 concrete steps you can apply today. Not next month, not next year. Today. First step: how to disconnect from three-dimensional reality and enter the quantum field. How to become no one and nothing so the field can hear you. Second step: how to select a specific possibility from the infinite ocean of potentials. How to focus your consciousness on the desired future. Third step, the most crucial: how to generate the emotion of an event before it manifests in physical reality. This is the secret distinguishing those who manifest successfully from those who try for years without results. And the fourth step, how to release control and allow the field to do its work. This isn't theory or philosophy. This is a working protocol that has transformed thousands of lives. And today, it becomes yours. Prepare yourself, because after this video, you can never live the same way again. Part 1. Theory. What is the quantum field? Atoms and emptiness. Let's start with a simple question. What are you made of? Most people answer, flesh and blood, cells, molecules. But let's go deeper. Your body consists of cells. cells consist of molecules. Molecules consist of atoms. And what comprises an atom? Here's where the magic begins. An atom is over 99% empty space. Not matter, energy, information, what we call the quantum field. Imagine an enormous football stadium holding 100,000 spectators. Now imagine a single small pea lying in the center of that stadium. That's the ratio of matter to emptiness in an atom. The stadium represents the energy field. The pea represents the particle of matter. Everything else consists of information waves, potentials, possibilities. Now, here's the fascinating part. Your body contains trillions of atoms. And if each atom is 99.9999% empty space, what does that mean? It means you are 99.9% energy, not matter. You are a wave of possibilities pretending to be a solid body. And when you understand this, everything changes. Because if you are energy, you can interact with other energy fields. You can influence the quantum field with your consciousness. You're not separate from the field. You're part of it. Your brain is both receiver and transmitter. It constantly exchanges information with the field. Each of your thoughts is a wave entering the field. Each of your feelings is a signal the field reads. And, most importantly, the field responds. It doesn't distinguish between good or bad waves. It simply resonates with whatever frequency you emit. If you emit fear, the field gives you more fear-inducing events. If you emit gratitude, the field gives you more events to be grateful for. This isn't just mysticism. It's physics explaining mysticism. Niels Bohr, father of quantum mechanics, said, "Everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real." You're living in an illusion of solid matter, but in reality you're swimming in an ocean of vibrating energy, and this ocean awaits your commands. The observer effect. Now, let's discuss the strangest discovery in quantum physics. The discovery that revolutionized our understanding of reality. It's called the observer effect. In the early 20th century, physicists conducted experiments with electrons. They wanted to understand whether an electron is a particle or a wave. The experiment is called the double-slit experiment. The concept is simple. There's a screen with two slits. Scientists shoot electrons through these slits and observe what happens on the detector behind them. If an electron is a particle, it should pass through one slit, creating two strips on the detector. But strangely, when unobserved, the electron passes through both slits simultaneously, like a wave. And an interference pattern appears on the detector, multiple stripes like two overlapping waves. The electron exists in superposition. It's everywhere and nowhere at once. But here's what's bizarre. When scientists place a detector to see which slit the electron passes through, it instantly collapses. It becomes a particle. It chooses one slit, and two strips appear on the detector. Observation changed the outcome. Wait, let's repeat this. The mere act of observation forced the electron to transform from a wave of possibilities into a concrete particle in a specific location. The observer created reality. This isn't interpretation, it's experimental fact, confirmed thousands of times. And now the question, if this works with electrons, does it work with your life? The answer is yes. Every event in your life is like that electron. It exists in superposition, in a state of multiple possibilities. You can be wealthy or poor, healthy or sick, meet the love of your life or remain alone. All these versions exist simultaneously in the quantum field. And what determines which version collapses into your reality? Your observation, your attention, your focus. Where you direct the energy of your consciousness, your life flows. If you wake up every day thinking about debts, problems, what you lack, you're observing that version of reality. You're collapsing the wave function into scarcity. If you direct attention to possibilities, gratitude, the future you want to create, you observe a different version, and it materializes. This is why positive thinking alone doesn't work. Because thinking isn't the same as observing. You can repeat, "I am wealthy," 1,000 times. But if deep down you constantly observe lack, worry about bills, feel fear, you're observing poverty, and the field gives you more poverty. The quantum field doesn't hear your words. It responds to the purity of your observation. This means one thing. To change your life, you need to change what you observe. Not at the level of thoughts, at the level of your entire being. And now I'll show you how to do this. Time is nonlinear. The next thing you need to understand: time isn't what you think it is. We're accustomed to living in linear time. Past, present, future. One after another, like frames in a movie. But quantum physics shows this is an illusion. In the quantum field, time doesn't exist. More precisely, all time exists simultaneously. Past, present, and future aren't separate points. They're different states all present in the field right now. Einstein called this the block universe. Everything already exists. Your past exists. Your future exists. All at once in a unified field of possibilities. And here's what this means for you. When you wake up in the morning and first remember your problems, debts, past failures, you're connecting to that timeline. You're bringing the past into the present and then projecting it into the future. You're creating the same future again and again. Why? Because your brain doesn't distinguish between real memories and imagination. When you recall the past, your brain activates the same neural networks as back then. Your body produces the same chemistry, and you literally become your past. Now imagine something different. What if, instead of living in the past, you began living in the future? What if every morning you connected not to memories, but to potential? Here's the secret. Your future already exists in the quantum field. The version of you that's successful, healthy, happy, it's already there, like one of the electrons in superposition. Your task is to begin observing that version, begin living from it. Not tomorrow, not when something changes. Now. When you transcend linear time, you gain access to all possibilities. You stop being a victim of the past. You become the creator of the future. And this isn't just beautiful words. Neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza conducted thousands of brain scans of people practicing future meditation. The result? Their brains began working as if the desired event had already occurred. Their bodies produced the chemistry of success, health, joy, before it manifested in physical reality. And then reality adjusted to this new state. Here's the key. To create a new future, you must stop living by the clock. You need to enter the eternal now, where everything is possible, and from there choose the timeline you want to materialize. This sounds complex, but it's actually the most natural thing in the world, because deep down you've always known. You're more than your body, more than your story, more than your past. You're a quantum being with access to an infinite field of possibilities. And the time has come to use this. Part 2. The mechanism. How we communicate with the field. Now, let's discuss the mechanism. How exactly do you communicate with the quantum field? The answer: through thought and emotion, but not the way you think. Thought is an electrical charge. When you think, an electrical impulse arises in your brain. Neurons fire, creating a wave. This wave doesn't stay in your head. It spreads into the field. Thought is a signal. It's your request to the universe. It's the coordinates of what you want. But thought alone isn't enough. Emotion is a magnetic charge. It's the energy that attracts events back to you. If thought is the question, then emotion is the answer. If thought says what, emotion says why. And here's where most people make their mistake. You think, I want $1 million. That's a thought, an electrical signal. But what do you feel when you think about it? Lack, anxiety, fear that it won't happen, disappointment that you don't have it now. And guess what the quantum field reads? Not the thought, the emotion. You're sending the field a signal. I lack money. And the field responds. Okay, here are more situations where you lack money. This isn't punishment, not a cruel universe. It's just physics. The field is neutral. It doesn't judge. It resonates with your frequency. If you think about abundance but feel lack, the field reads lack. If you visualize health but feel fear of illness, the field reads fear. If you imagine love but feel loneliness, the field reads loneliness. This is why affirmations don't work. This is why visualization without feeling is a waste of time. The quantum field doesn't hear words. It hears vibration. And this vibration is created when thought and emotion align, when electricity and magnetism unite, when you think about a goal and simultaneously feel it's already yours. Here's the formula. Pure thought plus elevated emotion equals quantum event. This isn't magic. It's electromagnetism. Your heart creates an electromagnetic field 5,000 times stronger than your brain's field. When heart and brain are coherent, working in unison, you create a powerful signal, and the field responds. But there's a problem. The problem is that most people live in chaos. Their thoughts say one thing, feelings another, body a third. No coherence, no unified signal, and therefore no results. For the quantum field to hear you, you need clarity, purity of signal. You need every cell of your body broadcasting the same frequency. And now I'll show you how to do this. Every person has an electromagnetic signature. This is a unique frequency you broadcast into the field every second of your life. This signature consists of your dominant thoughts and feelings. If you spend most of the day thinking about problems and feeling anxiety, your signature resonates with the frequency of problems, and the field brings you more problems. If you think about possibilities and feel gratitude, your signature resonates with the frequency of abundance, and the field brings you more abundance. It's like a radio station. You can't be tuned to Hun FM and hear 89 FM. Impossible. Same with life. You can't broadcast the frequency of lack and receive abundance. You can't broadcast the frequency of fear and receive love. The field gives you what matches your signature. The HeartMath Institute conducted numerous studies. They measured that when a person experiences elevated emotions, gratitude, love, joy, the electromagnetic field of their heart expands several times. It becomes more ordered, more coherent. And in this state, something amazing happens. Brain and heart begin working synchronously. Their waves align, creating a unified, powerful signal. This is called psychophysiological coherence. And in this state, you become a magnet for desired events. But here's the problem. Most people don't know what signature they're broadcasting. They live on autopilot, reacting to the world around them, and each reaction reinforces the old signature. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You get angry. The bank sends a bill. You get anxious. A colleague says something unpleasant. you feel offended. Each reaction is a signal to the field, and the field reads. He wants more anger, anxiety, offense, because the field doesn't know you don't want this. It simply gives you more of what you're radiating. This is why it's so important to become aware of your current signature. Ask yourself right now, what emotion do I most frequently experience during the day? What do I think about most of the time? What stories do I tell myself about my life? The answers to these questions will reveal your signature. And if you don't like what you see in your life, it's time to change your signature. Good news, your signature can be changed, not in years, in weeks, sometimes in days. How? Through the practice I'll give you in part 3. But first, you need to understand one more thing, the most important thing. Why is it so difficult to change your signature? Why, even when you know what to do you return to old patterns? The answer, your body. Body chemistry as habit. Here's what most people don't understand. Your body is the subconscious mind. Every emotion you experience creates a chemical reaction in the body. Anger is adrenaline and cortisol. Fear is noradrenaline. Joy is serotonin and dopamine. When you experience the same emotion again and again, your body becomes accustomed to this chemistry. The cells of your body literally become addicted to certain neurotransmitters. And here's what happens. You wake up in the morning, your body expects its habitual dose of chemistry. It wants stress, anxiety, irritation, because it's familiar. And if you don't give your body this dose, it starts demanding it. It sends signals to the brain. Think about something bad. Remember problems. Find a reason to worry. And you start looking for problems automatically. This isn't you. This is your body controlling your mind. You've become a victim of your own body's chemistry. And this is why change is so difficult. You can understand everything at the mind level. You can read books, watch videos, attend seminars, but if your body is programmed for old chemistry, it will sabotage any attempt at change. You decide to meditate. Your body starts itching, fidgeting, distracting. You decide to visualize the future. Thoughts carry you to the past. You try to feel gratitude. Anxiety tightens in your stomach. This isn't a lack of willpower. It's biology. Your body remembers the past better than you can imagine the future. And until you learn to retrain your body from old chemistry, you'll keep returning to the same thoughts, same feelings, same life. So, what do? The answer: you need to recondition the body, teach it new chemistry, the chemistry of elevated emotions, the chemistry of an already accomplished future. And here's how it works. When you practice emotional rehearsal, when you feel gratitude, joy, love before the event has occurred, your body begins producing new chemistry. At first, it's unnatural. The body resists. It wants to return to the familiar. But if you do this again and again, every morning, every evening, cells begin to reorganize. They unlearn the old chemistry and adapt to the new. And after some time, a miracle happens. The body begins living in the future before it manifests. Your cells, your hormones, your nervous system. Everything starts working as if the desired has already happened. And when the body believes, the field responds, because the field doesn't read your thoughts. It reads the state of your being. Your entire body must resonate with the new reality. This is called body as magnet. And this is why meditation is so important. Not just sitting and thinking good thoughts, but physically retraining the body. Teaching it to be the mind. untraining it from the habit of suffering and teaching it to live in a state that corresponds to the desired reality. This requires practice, requires discipline, but it works. Because when body and mind are united, when there's no internal conflict, when every cell broadcasts the same frequency, you become an irresistible force of creation, and the quantum field cannot help but respond. Now you're ready for the practice, for exactly how to do this. Part 3. Practice step-by-step instructions. Step 1. Disidentification. The first step is the most important and most difficult for most people. You need to disconnect from three-dimensional reality. Stop being the body. Stop being a personality with a name, profession, problems. Become no one, nothing, nowhere, and outside of time. Why is this important? Because as long as you're identified with your personality, with who you are now, you're locked in current reality. You cannot create a new future while remaining the old version of yourself. The quantum field isn't a place. It's a state of pure potential. You can't enter it with the baggage of the past. You can only enter as pure consciousness. Here's how to do it. Find a quiet place. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. First, turn off sensory signals. Stop feeling your body. Don't concentrate on breathing, on muscle tension, on sounds around you. Just let all of this fade into the background. Now begin disidentifying. Tell yourself, I am not this body. This body is just a temporary instrument of consciousness. I am not my name. The name is just a sound others use to call me. I am not my profession, not my status, not my achievements. All these are roles I play. I am not my problems, not my illnesses, not my past experiences. All these are temporary events, not my essence. Continue releasing everything that binds you to personality, and after some time you'll feel it. Space, emptiness, but not the frightening emptiness of loneliness, rather the infinite emptiness of possibilities. You've entered the quantum field. In this state, you're pure consciousness, the observer without history, presence without form. And in this state, you can create anything. Because you're no longer limited by the past, you're not attached to the current version of yourself. You're pure potential. This might take several minutes, might take 10 to 15 minutes. It's different for everyone. But when you reach this state, you'll feel it. The mind quiets, the body relaxes, and a sense of infinity appears. This is the entrance to the field. Step 2. Focus on possibilities. Now that you are in the field, it's time to choose a specific possibility. Remember, in the quantum field, all versions of your future exist simultaneously. Your task is to choose one and direct the energy of your attention to it. But don't visualize details. This is a mistake. When you imagine specific details, how you look, where you are, what you're wearing, you return to three-dimensional thinking, to the world of matter. But the quantum field works with information, not form. Instead, choose a symbol, a letter, an image, something simple that represents your goal. For example, if you want financial freedom, imagine a symbol of abundance. It could be golden light or an energy spiral, or simply a feeling of expansion. If you want healing, imagine a symbol of wholeness, a complete circle, a glowing sphere. If you want love, imagine a symbol of connection, two intertwining waves. It doesn't matter what exactly. What matters is that this symbol is charged with your intention. Now, while in the void, in the darkness of inner space, imagine this symbol before you. Don't try to control it. Just observe and direct the energy of your attention to it. Attention is the currency of the quantum field. Where you direct attention, energy flows, and where energy flows, matter is created. Observe the symbol. Allow it to exist in the darkness of your consciousness, and as you observe, it will begin to change. It might become brighter, might move, might pulse. This is the field responding to your attention. Don't force it. Don't try to make something specific happen. Just be with this symbol. Be with this possibility. And the longer you hold attention on this possibility, the more energy you invest in it, the greater the probability that precisely this version of the future will materialize. You're literally choosing a timeline. Remember the experiment with the electron? It's in superposition until an observer looks at it. Your future works the same way. All possibilities exist, but the one you look at with the greatest clarity and stability of attention is the one that materializes. This isn't visualization in the ordinary sense. This is quantum observation. You're not creating a picture in your head. You're collapsing the wave function into desired reality through the force of your focused consciousness. Spend at least 5 minutes in this state, just observing, just being present with the chosen possibility. And now we move to the most important part. What distinguishes those who manifest successfully from those who try for years without results? Step 3. Emotional rehearsal. Here's the secret few people talk about. The quantum field doesn't respond to your desire. It responds to your state of being. You can observe the symbol of your goal as much as you want, but if you don't feel the emotion of an already accomplished event, nothing will happen. Why? Because emotion is the signature that the event has occurred. When something good happens in your life, what do you feel? Gratitude, joy, relief, elation. These feelings are the chemical imprint of the event in your body. And here's the key. If you can feel this emotion before the event has occurred, your body will believe it's already happened. And when the body believes, the field responds. This is called emotional rehearsal. You're rehearsing the future not in your head, in your body. Here's how to do it. You're still in meditation. You're observing the symbol of your goal. Now ask yourself, what will I feel when this comes true? If it's financial freedom, what will you feel? Relief, confidence, gratitude. If it's healing, what will you feel? Lightness in the body, energy, joy. If it's love, what will you feel? Warmth in the heart, fullness, safety. Don't fabricate the emotion. Find it within yourself. Recall a moment in the past when you experienced similar feelings. Maybe in a different context, doesn't matter. What matters is finding that feeling in your experience and activating it now. And when you've found this feeling, amplify it. Let it fill your chest. Let it spread throughout your entire body. Let every cell bathe in this emotion. Smile, even if no one's watching. A physical smile activates joy chemistry in the brain. Breathe into this feeling. Fill it with breath. And, most importantly, stay in this state not for 10 seconds, for 5 to 10 minutes minimum, because it's in this state that your body reconditions itself. Cells receive new information. Genes turn on and off. Neurons form new connections. You're literally rewriting your body's biology. And here's what happens in this moment. You're sending a powerful signal to the field. Not just a thought, I want this, but a state of being. I already have this. And the field cannot distinguish a real event from an imagined one if the emotion is authentic. If you truly feel gratitude, the field reads, event has occurred. There's something to be grateful for. And it begins organizing the circumstances of your life to match this state. This is why gratitude is the most powerful emotion for manifestation, because you cannot be grateful for what you don't have. Gratitude is the emotion of something already received. And when you feel gratitude for the future as if it's already here, you collapse the wave function into that reality. Spend as much time in this feeling as you can. The longer, the better. And when you're ready, move to the final step. Step 4. Releasing. The final step is the simplest and most difficult for most people. Let go. You've done your part of the work. You entered the field. You chose a possibility. You charged it with emotion. You sent the signal. Now the field's task is to organize events, and your task is not to interfere. Most people make their mistake here. They exit meditation and start controlling how it will happen, when it will happen, through whom it will come. And every time you try to control the process, you return to Newtonian physics, to the world of cause and effect, to the world where you must do something to get results. But the quantum field works differently. It's smarter than you. It sees paths you don't see. It knows people you don't know. It can organize synchronicities you could never plan with your mind. Your task is to trust the field. This doesn't mean sit and do nothing. Action is important, but action must come from inspiration, not desperation. When you're in the right state, when you're in resonance with desired reality, the field will send you signs, impulses, sudden ideas, random meetings. Your task is to follow these impulses. Act when you feel inspired, but don't force, don't push. Don't try to make it happen the way you think it should. Imagine you ordered food in a restaurant. You don't run to the kitchen every 5 minutes checking on the chef. You don't try to cook it yourself. You placed your order and you wait, trusting the food will come. Same with the quantum field. You placed your order. Now trust the process. And, most importantly, don't return to the old state. If after meditation you open your eyes and immediately start worrying, doubting, thinking, what if this doesn't work? You're breaking the connection with the field. You're canceling your order. Your task is to carry that state you created in meditation into your ordinary day. Live from this state. Walk from this state. Make decisions from this state. And when the world around you tries to return you to the old, to worries, fears, doubts, gently return to that feeling you cultivated, again and again. This is practice. This is a way of life. And when you master this, your life will change forever. Part 4. Pitfalls and Integration. Returning to the body. This is where most people fail. You finished meditation, you felt amazing, you were in the field, you felt that connection, that magic, and then you open your eyes and the world is the same. Husband still grumbles, wife still dissatisfied, children still noisy, bills still on the table, traffic still on the roads. And in this moment comes the test. How will you react? If you immediately return to old reactions, to irritation, anxiety, disappointment, you've severed the connection with the field. You've returned to the old electromagnetic signature, the old frequency, and the field reads, he's the same again. So give him the same reality. Everything you did in meditation has been reset. This is why it's so important to carry the state from meditation into your ordinary day. This is called living with open eyes. The world around you won't change instantly. That's not how it works. The quantum field isn't a magic wand. But if you maintain the new state despite what your eyes see, the field will begin reorganizing. Slowly, gradually, synchronicity after synchronicity. Your task is to become an observer, not a reactor. When something unwanted happens, don't react automatically. Pause. Remember that state you were in during meditation and ask yourself, how would the version of me who already lives in desired reality react to this? Perhaps she'd simply smile. Perhaps she wouldn't even notice. Perhaps she'd see a lesson or opportunity in it. But she definitely wouldn't return to the old state of panic and suffering, because she knows the external world is a reflection of the internal. And if everything's fine inside, the external will adjust sooner or later. This requires practice, requires awareness, especially in the first days and weeks. But each time it gets easier, because the new state becomes habit, and the old state begins to feel foreign. And when this happens, you'll understand you've changed forever. The last thing you need to understand: between signal and manifestation, there's a time lag. This isn't instant magic. We live in a world of matter, and matter needs time to reorganize. Imagine you throw a stone into a lake. Waves from that stone spread in circles. They don't reach the shore instantly. They need time. Same with the quantum field. You sent a signal, waves went out, but they needed time to materialize in physical reality. But here's what's important. The time lag is individual for everyone. It depends on your level of consciousness, on how purely you broadcast the signal, on how deeply your body believed in the new reality. The higher your consciousness level, the faster manifestation occurs. If you are a beginner, just starting practice, the lag might be weeks or months, because the body still resists. Old beliefs still activate. You periodically return to the old frequency. But with practice, the lag shrinks. Days, hours, sometimes instantly. Manifestation masters live in a state of zero lag. Their thought and materialization are practically synchronous, because there's no internal resistance, no doubt, no return to the old. And this is where most people give up. They do the practice for 3 days, nothing happens, they get disappointed, they say, "This doesn't work," and return to the old. But this is like planting a seed and digging it up after a week because there's no tree yet. The seed germinates underground. Roots form. A sprout breaks through to the light. All this happens invisibly, but it's happening. Same with your manifestation. The field is already working, events are already rearranging, people are already moving into position, circumstances are already aligning, but you don't see it yet. Your task is not to lose faith, not to lose the state. Continue the practice, every day, every morning, every evening. And one day, when you least expect it, there'll be a breakthrough. A random meeting, an unexpected call, a sudden opportunity, a strange coincidence. And you'll understand. The field responded. It just needed time to organize everything. Time corresponding to your current consciousness level. Trust the process, trust the timing, and continue holding the frequency. With each practice, you raise your consciousness level, and the time lag shrinks. Your life is the most grandiose experiment you'll ever conduct. You're not a passive observer. You're an active participant, a creator. And now you have instructions, clear, step by step, based on science. Step 1. Disidentification. Become pure consciousness. Step 2. Focus. Choose a possibility from the field of potentials. Step 3. Emotion. Feel the future as already accomplished. Step 4. Release. Trust the field. This isn't complicated, but it requires consistency. I urge you, try this practice for 7 days, every morning for 15 to 20 minutes. Don't analyze, don't judge. Just do it, and observe what begins happening in your life. Synchronicities, signs, opportunities, events you couldn't have planned with your mind. because the quantum field isn't something external. It's an extension of you. You're not separate from it. You're immersed in it. You're part of it. And when you learn to speak the language of this field, and that language is the frequency of your consciousness, you'll gain power you never suspected. The power to create, the power to manifest, the power to change reality. Not tomorrow, not when the stars align. Now. The quantum field awaits your signal. The ocean of infinite possibilities is ready to respond, and all that's required of you is to take the first step. Call to action. If you are ready to try this practice, write in the comments, "I accept the challenge and your intention." For example, I accept the challenge, financial freedom. I accept the challenge, love of my life. I accept the challenge, health and energy. This isn't just a comment. This is your public commitment before the quantum field. This is a quantum marker, a signal to the field that you accept change. Come back in 7 days and write what changed. I read every comment. And now, critically important, your reality is formed by the information you consume daily. If you want changes in life, change what enters your consciousness. This isn't theory, it's law. I created a Telegram channel as a tool for your transformation. Every time a new video comes out, you get a reminder. This is a signal to your subconscious. Time to tune to the right frequency. This is an anchor that returns you to awareness amid the chaos of information noise. One viewing changes thinking for a day. Regular consumption of the right content changes life forever. Changes how you manifest desires, how money comes to you, what reality you create. Subscribe to the Telegram channel via the link in the description. Let every notification become a synchronicity, reminding you of who you've chosen to become, of the reality you're creating right now. Link in the description. See you there. Start today.